Hi, welcome to a Thaiger story. This is a series we're doing with a friend of the Thaiger, Ben Hart from Integrity Legal. Thanks for coming in, Ben.
Good to see you, Tim.
We've got some big topics to talk about, things that people are asking us a lot about, and I imagine they're asking the people at Integrity Legal much the same questions. So let's get stuck into the first one. We're going to have a talk about, well, I'm calling it the visa amnesty, but it's not quite an amnesty. It's like an extension for these people that have been stuck in Thailand.
Sometimes called a COVID extension.
Right.
You'll see that term colloquially on the internet. But yeah, it's essentially what I call it, which is not very good verbiage for TV. Is it's a discretionary extension that essentially what they've done is they've given immigration officers, especially line officers, the authority on the ground to issue these kind of extensions just for COVID, in 2-month increments. And it's my understanding actually this week they've even extended that authority out even further.
Yes.
And I gotta
I was going to say that's interesting, because I would have thought with the November 1 sort of mass reopening and the relaxation of entry conditions, that it may have caused the immigration department to turn off the extensions, but they have extended again.
Yeah, they have. I kind of find it funny because for about the last year, 13 months, I've kind of been burned on this constantly, because I've told people as it was coming up to the end of it, hey, get yourself in order, get back into regularized status, and then lo and behold, they go ahead and extend it again. Now, the problem is you get into kind of a normalcy bias with that, and you start thinking, oh, they'll just do it again. They'll just keep doing it ad infinitum. I don't think that that's reasonable to presume. I kind of thought that this month, they would let it go, because, as you say, they broadly opened back up, especially reducing the quarantine down to effectively zero quarantine. But they haven't done that. I would say, though, coming from my perspective, this I kind of presume to be the last one. Now, I could be wrong, and I have been in the past, but if it was, from my analysis, I would bet we're probably not going to see another one of these.
So who do these extensions apply to? Now, they say people who have been stuck in Thailand. Yeah. I would have thought there wouldn't be that many people in the world, or that many countries that would be saying you can't come back. Mm-hmm. So who do these extensions apply to?
Well, initially, the policy reason behind the creation of these extensions was for people that genuinely were stuck here.
Sure.
If you go back March, April, May of 2020, there were people that were genuinely up a creek. They were not able to get any kind of extension, and so they created this. Now, as we both know, at this point, effectively, it's really hard to argue you're stuck in Thailand anymore, but they still have the extension. My personal opinion as to why this continues to exist is more from the standpoint of essentially the border run is no longer an effective option. And there are people that need to keep their status regularized. For example, I think for a lot of the reason for the quote-unquote amnesty or COVID extension is, for example, if you fall out of business visa status, you lose your job or something like this, then immigration has a tool in their toolbox to keep you in some kind of status, and then allow you to kind of move forward. The paradigm with non-immigrant visas, especially pre-COVID, is you're a non-immigrant. So if you fall out of status or you're no longer doing what you were supposed to be doing here, you got to go and then come back in on something else. That's not a very efficient thing to do right now. It's not even very convenient. So I think that's also part of the policy reason behind the amnesty, behind the COVID extensions.
Also interesting, what do you need to provide if you want to get one of these extensions now? You're going to have to pay a fee, and what paperwork do you have to front up with?
Well, obviously there's the immigration forms. It's not, based on our experience, it's not overly documentation intensive. I will tell you, it is discretionary. It's always been discretionary. I've seen these cases actually denied, where people have gone to an immigration office and they've said, hey, now this was months back, but they've said, hey, I'm still stuck here in Thailand. And the immigration officer said, yeah, we looked into that. You're not stuck here. It's time to go. Now, That probably won't happen in the vast majority of cases, but it can. It remains discretionary. More than anything, it's not about documentation. It's really just about that officer that's adjudicating your case.
As we often say, Ben, and sometimes when it comes to negotiating with the immigration department, it depends which day you go in, which officer you see, what time of the day it is, and if they're in a good mood.
Have they had lunch?
Yes.
You know, I mean, like,
so just
that's
go
a lot.
about, about 2 p.m. would be a good time.
Yeah. Or right at the beginning, right in the morning.
When they're feeling good.
Yeah, right in the morning before they've kind of been beaten down by the day, but yeah, or right after lunch. But yes, it's discretionary. At the end of the day, it's discretionary.
We're going to have a talk about border runs on another one of our episodes. This is Ben Hart. He's from Integrity Legal. There's a click to Integrity Legal in the description under this video. And Ben also does a series of his own videos about legal matters here in Thailand. Ben, we'll thank you for this one, and we'll get stuck into another topic next time.
Thanks for having me.
Ben Hart from Integrity Legal here on the Thaiger. Thank you for joining us.